major part that helps you live in life.
Now, if your environment isn't clean, it also impacts your health.
Now, can you please help us fight for environmental justice?
We need you.
We need you.
We need you.
Now it's your turn to join the fight.
We need you, so join the fight. Since 2016, Detroit has remained one of the top 3 most segregated cities in the country. But why did it become that way? It became that way because real estate agents, the bank, and the government aided housing discrimination.
Say war, what comes to mind? You probably first think of the one that Donald Trump is currently trying to build to separate America and Mexico. Well, did you know that there was a wall built back in 1941 to separate white and blacks? Today in 2019, parts of that wall still stand. This wall is part of the reason that Detroit is one of the most segregated cities in America.
One example of a historical factor that impacted segregation in our region was the wall on 8 Mile in Wyoming. This was an action made by the European Renault. They built a wall to separate the white and black. White developers wanted to build a white subdivision next to the majority black neighborhood, but they weren't eligible for funding because they were right next to the neighborhood that considered high risk. Their solution was to build a massive wall.
Another factor that led to segregation is redlining. The HLOC used redlining to rate neighborhoods. They rated the good neighborhoods with blue and green. They rated the not so great neighborhoods with yellow and red. A quote from the chapter of the neighborhood school busing chase says, "These neighborhoods were described as being racially and ethnically mixed, since the redlining helped them determine who to loan money to or not." And according to the quote, most black neighborhoods weren't receiving enough money.
Steering is one of the historical factors of discrimination. Steering was an act used by real estate agents. Steering means a neighborhood is marked red just because it was a black neighborhood. From the book, the Detroit School Business Case by Joyce A. Baugh says, real estate agents participate in a discriminatory practice called steering and assign blacks and whites to neighborhoods strictly defined by race. This impacts the city because everyone had a limit to live and having restricted areas.
Another historical factor is the demolition of Black Bottom and Paradise Valley. In his 2017 speech, Mayor Duggan said the two most insanely populated African American neighborhoods in the city of Detroit.
We are here at the Black Bottom Street View exhibit at the Detroit Public Library.
What do you see here?
Black Bottom was a neighborhood that was majority black people and demolished by white people.
So when neighborhoods are segregated, the community is not healthier.
And that is because when white people started doing the white flight, when they just moved away from white neighborhoods and started living in the suburbs.
That the government gave the white people money so that they can move on to the suburbs.
Detroit is one of the most segregated cities in the country. It's like this due to actions by government, corporations, and individuals. There are many historical factors that we still see to this day. One of those is the HOLC, steering by real estate agents, and the wall on 8 Mile in Wyoming. The people and children now are affected. Children are affected the most because students are performing at a lower grade level. In order to stop being one of the most segregated cities, we have to stop focusing on our past and start focusing on our future. Segregated neighborhoods also face many environmental challenges that cause serious health issues. Together, we must fight for a change.
Join the fight. Environmental justice is where people help our community.
Environmental justice means that everyone's environment is equal and not damaged or harmed.
Environmental justice is a fair, meaningful treatment for any race.
I think environmental justice is having freedom and picking our neighborhoods and having a good environment to live in.
Environmental justice is when people fight for what they want when something's wrong.
Environmental justice is an act on global warming and other man-caused issues that impact our world.
Food desert is a term to describe an area that lacks quality and affordable food.
The term food desert was introduced in 1990 in Western Scotland.
According to Metro Detroit's food policy, there are 74 grocery stores.
Food desert is increase the rate of child obesity.
Living in food desert is bad for your health because as you find 37% of obesity in adults.
Food deserts can lead to bad health and diseases such as heart disease, obesity, and cancer. Food deserts can impact us by we can develop the habit of not eating vegetables and being able to have the habit of eating only junk food or not being introduced to vegetables or not eating vegetables at all because of food deserts and how they can impact you as a whole.
Help us decrease the rate of 48% of households being affected by food deserts. And what you could do is wear awareness or share this story.
Today I'm standing in front of my school learning garden with my classmate Jordan. Jordan, why do we planted this school learning garden?
So we can make gardens and supply with our own food, so we have healthy food to supply us and other people.
This garden was planted by an organization called Built Green, and they helped us make all of these fruits. And now my best friend Jordan is going to tell you what we did with the food from last year.
What we did last year with the food was give it away to DAA crew members and families.
In our community, we're working on fighting food deserts every year.
We are talking about air pollution. Air pollution is mostly made of PM 2.5. PM 2.5 stands for particulate matter, also called particle pollution.
Zip codes 48217 and 4804 are home to the highest levels of greenhouse gas in the city of Detroit.
PM 2.5 is a mix of solid particles and liquid droplets in the air,
which means it is small enough to breathe in and get inside the human lungs.
2.5 came from dust, spores, pollen, and burning fuel.
Diseases from PM 2.5 is cancer, asthma, and more.
Whites experience about 17% less air pollution than they cause, while Hispanics are exposed to about 63% more air pollution than they cause.
Today we're measuring air quality with this meter that shows us how much PM 2.5 is out here.
It's 14.0, 13.8.
So what does that mean if it's at 13.8?
It's like in the middle. It's like good, but it's starting to get a little bit bad.
What do we find in the air today?
We found out with this meter that our air is moderate here, and it's like okay, but not great.
If you want to measure air quality in your own neighborhood, you can go to www.airnow.org.
Asthma hospitalization in Southwest Detroit and surrounding areas are triple the state's average, and so are cancer rates.
There are over 150 sites in Southwest Detroit releasing chemicals and particles which result in air pollution. These sites emit dangerous chemicals and particles such as PM 2.5, sulfur dioxide, nitrous oxide, and ozone.
Air quality has been an issue in Detroit since the 1970s. Over time, the issue has gotten worse. It impacts poor and minority communities the most because industrial factories are built in their communities.
The air pollution in Southwest Detroit causes numerous health issues for residents of the community, including respiratory diseases, cardiovascular problems, kidney failure, and cancer.